Actually, I got
Dude,
somebody
I,
faxed over proof earlier of the bypass surgery. So
I took an edible the other night and watched like two Chris Farley movies in a row, and I was tripping balls, man. It was
Yeah,
rough.
yeah, especially if you're not used to it in the beginning.
Yeah, I was,
Um,
man, I was like halfway through the movie, and I was like, man, some of these scenes are really awkward and weird, and I'm just like silent watching it, and then I just start laughing because it seems so stupid.
and when you're not used to weed, it hits you like a fucking freight train. Even if you like,
Yep.
unless you take a super small amount, even if you take a still a small amount, if you're not used to it, it's like you're totally sober, and then it's like,
yeah,
oh,
Oh my god, dude!
you want
I
to?
was in Denver, man. I was in Denver, and I went to I drove to I think Nederland, which is like right outside of it, and got to some super strong like concentrated shit, just like edibles I bought at a dispensary, and I'm at the base of this goopy ass mountain. I'm glad that's not loud to me. It's so quiet for me.
that is loud as fuck for me.
I live
That
in
has,
love it.
California, so I guess I'll be a bitch instead of getting ass rammed by gas prices.
Well, I live in Alabama, and gas is cheap as hell here, and I would rather live in Alabama than get an ass rammed in California.
Butthole, thank you for the donations, man.
thank you.
Butthole, come on now. You gotta get you a V8 and tell the California boys to fuck off. Anyways, so I'm in Denver. I'm in Nederland. I take this edible, and it's the guy's like, dude, it hits you so fast, but it lasts only half as long. And I'm on this hiking trail that's like deserty, and I start tripping balls, of course, and I'm going up this hiking trail for hours. And every time somebody walked by me, I was so terrified to talk to them. I'd go hide into like the forest and eat snacks and shit. So I was so afraid to talk. I was so afraid people would know who I don't. It was weird, man. So eventually, I'm like gone. Right, I'm like the term blackout drunk, but if you're just high, and I noticed that it's snowy. It's just snow everywhere. And keep in mind, it was like 75 degrees and like sunny and like deserty when I started, and it's just snowy now. And I'm in the top of this mountain, and there's no one around. I'm not on a trail anymore. I'm just going through the snow, like trudging through the snow.
What the?
And I was like, "What the? Where am I?" I kind of started coming to, and I was like, "I should probably turn around." So I just followed my footprints all the way back.
Dude, that could have been fucking terrible.
Yeah,
you
it was
could have
crazy.
been like you could have been like not alive.
Yeah, there's a picture of me, and I'm standing beside a waterfall and walking away from it. My friend took it, and I'm blitzed. I'm just gone, and I'm walking away from this waterfall, and you can't see it in the picture, but I'm blitzed. It's great. It's great. It's
So
crazy.
well, I almost said who it was. Let's just say somebody I know gave me edibles once. This is maybe 6 years ago. And I'm like, it's not doing anything. So he's like, oh, have a little bit small piece of this cookie. Just small. He's like, don't
I remember
eat
you
more.
telling me this.
So I'm like, okay, fine. So I eat more. 2 hours go by, and I'm like, I don't feel anything, man. He's like, are you sure you're not like feeling anything at all? And I'm no, I literally feel nothing. He's like, okay, have like literally this little piece, this little like. So I eat it. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, the only way I can describe it where people understand what I'm talking about now, it's like being in the MCU, like Marvel Universe. All of a sudden, everything except me, including the room, the sky, the chairs, everything moves. And it goes, it's like editing. It just switches to a new scene. And I'm like, and he's like, what? I'm like, are we still here? And he's like, what are you talking about?
No.
And I'm like, are we still in the same time? Like, what time is it? He's like, it's 8. I'm like, well, I go every time. Oh my god.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
You did this. You did this, Jay.
Well,
Don't worry,
that's
I got a cammed 2018 Camaro SS for the track.
Oh shit.
Oh,
All you motherfuckers got these nice fast ass cars, and I gotta. I mean, I have kids. That's why I have to have it.
well, you gotta be safe.
I got a bunch of NASCAR Cup cars that I use for racing.
Jesus.
They're fat
So-
bitches.
So I'm sitting in the living room, and it's somebody I know well, part of my family. And all of a sudden I go, I have to hold your hand. And he's like, what? And I'm like, if I don't hold your hand, I'm gonna disappear into one of these alternate timelines. And he's like, okay, fine. And I'm like having like panic attacks. Well, Rich knows this, like panic attacks of being
Yeah, I know panic attack.
of being
well.
yeah of being sent into another time zone. So then, if you guys know my show from a long time ago, I used to have Kat on the show. She literally had just left the apartment half an hour before. I actually called her to come all the way from downtown Toronto, all the way back to the apartment, which took her about an hour on the subway because I was tripping so bad. And by the time she got back, I think I counted maybe 200 different time zones I had been in, and they were all different, and I could describe every one of them. Like
From just weed?
Man,
oh yeah,
I don't
was,
know.
Dude.
Like, was
It
that
must
from a
have been something
dispensary?
else. No,
Yeah,
it was
dude.
Somebody, you know what happened? You know when people make trays of that stuff with the butter?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't do it properly, that butter will go into like one cookie and the rest are fine.
Oh, I've told my audience that a billion times because they always ask me, like, well, Rich, like, my friend made edibles. I'm like, no.
No,
I'm
you gotta
like,
be...
because
unless
one
they're-
cookie
yeah.
could have a fucking milligram, and the cookie next to it, because they didn't mix it properly, could have like 600 milligrams.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what. So basically, listen to this. The guy who doesn't do it at all, I still don't do it.
I'm gonna fist you after this.
Ho,
stream.
ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
I drive a 2011 Toyota Camry with 419k miles. The
Holy
car's going to
shit.
be passed down through generations.
Yeah,
Listen.
the car. It's a Toyota Camry, man. The car, the body will rot before the drivetrain falls
Yep.
apart.
So he goes to me later, and so anyways, Kat shows back up at the place. I have to hold her hand and his hand for a good 3 hours before I feel fine. Then all of a sudden I feel like at heaven, like I've never felt that good in my life. But my God, I got stuck in another dimension because of this.
Man, my first ever experience, and I mean very first ever experience, was
How old were you?
I was 30.
Wow, late bloomer.
Yeah, and so yeah, I didn't start drinking or doing anything until I was 27. But
Bloom next to me.
I was hanging out with this girl off Tinder, right? And she's smoking hot chick. And I go over to her house because she lived like right down the road from me. And she was like, "Hey, my friend gave me this, brownie." And she's like, "But only, and then she's like, 'You want to try it? It's THC." And I was like, "Hell yeah!" Because at this time I didn't give a damn anymore. I was like, "Feed me anything."
This
so-
brownie's filled with cyanide. Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, so I'm a dumbass. I fall for the rookie mistake of thinking it's supposed to kick in faster. So she eats like a crumb, and I just like bite it every 10 minutes. I'm like, why is it not kicking in? So I end up eating like 90% of this brownie. And man,
You fucking Joey Diaz yourself. Continue.
dude, I was flying through space, and this girl was sitting there, and I remember like having a conscious thought. And it was like the most important thing that I'd ever it was like an epiphany, right? I was like, oh my God, this is so important. I have to tell the world. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, there's something so important I have to say. And she's like, what? And I was like, this is the most important thing. Like, it will change the world. And she's like, what's going on? And I was like, Eminem's the best rapper of all time. And then I just started crying.
What?
And then she's like, let me take you to the shower. So she walks me to her shower and just strips me down and puts me in the shower. And then she strips down and gets in the shower. And she's like, don't think about laughing. And I was like, what? And she was like, don't think about laughing. And I just started laughing. And I fell down in the shower and was crying and laughing. And
The fuck is that?
Merry Christmas.
Listen. Now
What do
you
you
ruined.
guys think of the electric Mustang Mach-E?
I'd fuck with one.
Grapple shot obtained.
If they're fast as hell, I'd fuck with one.
We
I'm
lost
from-
Abby's donation for 50 bits. My cousin just spent 40,000 on upgrades on a 2018 Mustang GT Coyote. I want to call it a Cougar. I don't know why. He put a Root supercharger. It now has 800 HP.
hey, that's almost as much as my 12 car.
You make me think of Cougar. I would have a hot guilt. I would have Jennifer Tilly. She's a
yeah, dude.
jilf.
But like in her
She's
prime,
a-
though, not like now.
No, I would have her still sit on.
I mean,
the
I would
fence.
still smash a pisser. I'm saying I would
Jesus
prefer.
Christ.
I prefer
Oh,
she's
dude.
25 or something.
Jennifer Tilly is a. Have you? Listen.
She's a jilf. I'm sorry. She's
Her
a
sister's
jilf.
hot as hell too.
So listen to this story. 3 years ago, they're filming Chucky, the first season in.
COD 64.
Yeah, they're filming Chucky. I'm biking. I'm a cyclist, so I'm biking, and I'm making my legs strong so I can smash pissers, as you say. And
Smash pissers. I love it.
so I'm driving my bike and I'm into the whole horror scene and all that stuff. So I know it's filming and I'm like, my only goal this summer is to see Jennifer Tilly in real life. And one day I'm biking down by the lakeshore and there's all these cars. So I instantly know that this is a set. This is a fucking set. This is my chance. She's here for sure. So I bike. I see the setup. It looks like a garage sale. It's the first scene from the show if you've watched it. And I'm looking and like, no Jennifer Tilly. I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me?
She still has amazing tits, but continue.
Just wait. So then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll never see her. So the other part of the story is amazing because I gave up. I'm like, I'll never see her. Lo and behold, we're downtown. It's probably 8 at night. We're just going to get food. And just randomly, out of the blue, Jennifer Tilly is just with somebody. There's no security. It's not like that. She's just there, going into a restaurant downtown Toronto. So I got to see her. It wasn't like spectacular because she was maybe about 40 feet from me. But she's unreal. She's
You
like
didn't shoot your shot? You didn't go up to her?
No, she's too far away from me. I would have went up to her. And
You said
like,
40 feet, bro. You got 2 legs, right?
Well, she's going into the store or the.
I'd have been right behind her, dude. Look, okay, I don't know about you. Now I don't know how old you is, but I'm a young buck compared to Jennifer Tilly. I guarantee you, I walk up, and be like, "What's up, girl? Let me get that number." I'd be smashing Jennifer Tilly's picture for sure.
Yeah, dude, she'd hook up with you.
How old?
100%.
I'd suck on her titties. Oh yeah. By the way,
Listen, so hold on 1 second. Someone said to me, "Oh, her voice is terrible." Like, dude, she could suffocate with her tits and scream in my ear like a banshee, and I would be totally happy.
I like her
with it.
voice.
Oh, she's a fucking goddess.
Yeah,
It's so sweet and calming. No, but to finish my story earlier about the weed thing, so I laid in that lady's bed, that Tinder girl's bed, and she wasn't as high as I was, and she was like, "Do you want to have sex?" And I was like, "That is not possible." And then I just floated through space, and then fell asleep finally. So that was the whole story.
but I love busting nuts while stoned.
Dude,
Like, sometimes if you're too
I couldn't
stoned,
even-
I get it.
Couldn't
No,
even
I get
fathom
it.
that shit at that point.
Dude, there's been times where I've walked, I was like, my legs were like twitching because I was too stoned, and I was walking like I got fucked in the ass. I don't think I could have sex in that situation, but yeah, so I understand.
Was Intro Guy anywhere around at the time?
Yeah, he fucked me in the ass. We both got stoned together. He fucked me in the ass, and then I was walking like a penguin.
Listen, I don't even need to do the jokes anymore.
God,
All right.
I miss his jokes.
100 bits. Camelot says, "What happened to me on the first date?" That happened to me with first date on my girlfriend. Luckily, I'm still with her. I don't know.
Well, it's a bonding experience. Now don't get me wrong. I still smashed that chick that I got high with. It was just the next time we hung out. So
Yeah. I mean,
Am I losing my mind, or it's like maybe I'm losing it? I was a 25-year-old virgin. Do I know that Camelot, you were pretty old when you lost your virginity as well, or something? Or am I losing my mind?
I was 16.
Oh, then I'm losing my mind. I swear you made a video saying, "Oh, I was a 25-year-old virgin."
No,
No, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
don't
just
think so.
actually saying my fantasies out loud now. Abby,
Dude.
50 bits, says, "I saw Anne Hathaway in the airport once. I hope she wasn't holding a breast cup in the security checkout line. It was amazing. No one knew her because she was dressed in black with black sunglasses." And he says, "Not joking." I
That's
don't know.
literally how she dresses in every movie.
Yeah, that's just her.
I was actually like, I got my dick sucked until I was 23, and then I remember there was this hot.
So say that again. What?
Yeah, I technically was a virgin, quote unquote, until I was 23, but
What does "quote unquote" mean? What does that mean?
because I got my dick sucked all the
Yeah,
time.
virgin though. What does it mean? You tripped and fell in a hole? Like, what do you?
I didn't stick my dick in as he says, the pisser, but so I remember though, there was this, I met her at my job. It was this blonde goth chick who had tattoos all over her titties, and man, she was fantastic. Anyway, I don't know what. Yeah, I loved. She was weird though, but she wanted to like date me, and I wouldn't because she was too weird. But I just kept hanging out with her because I wanted her to smack the shit out of me with her tits every day.
And then what happened?
She smacked the shit out of me with her tits. Then one time we were fucking, and then she just blurted out that she loved me, and I went completely flaccid and ran out of the room.
Every
Are
Tinder
you
girl.
serious?
No, not really. I kept going and busting it up.
I
but
knew it. The secret is out.
But she was like, because I was like, look, we're just going to be friends with benefits. Okay, we're just going to be friends with benefits. I just want to let you know because I didn't want to fuck around with her, like metaphorically. And she's like, all right, cool. Then like a day later, we're fucking, and she was like, oh, I love you. And I'm like, what?
Every girl, dude. So my ex-wife left when I was 26, and I downloaded Tinder, and I had no idea how to date because I had been with her since I was a teenager. I had no idea how to date, nothing. But I was in great shape, the best shape of my life. And you know, I owned a small little house up where I lived, and I just started talking to girls like they were human because I don't know how to like fake a thing. I just do myself. So I'm just talking to all these girls, and I got to where I was hanging out with a different girl every single day, man. And this was going on for like a year or two before I deleted the app because it got too stressful. When I started YouTube, I deleted everything because I wanted to focus on YouTube. But I was hanging out with all these girls, and I would always tell them, like, disclaimer. I got so used to it that I'd be like, hey, like, I'm not interested in being with you in any capacity. I'm just trying to be, you know, meet people, be friends, and, you know, that pretty much insinuates what you want, right? So I was hanging out with all these girls.
empty my balls.
And yeah, exactly. And they would almost always be like, after I stopped talking to them after a week or 2 or 3, you know, depending on how long I wanted to be around them, they would immediately jump to the, oh, I thought this was different. I thought, you know, things would change and this.
I don't get it. Yeah.
And I'm like, you bitch, look, how has this happened every single time? I told you bitches, I ain't want nothing. All right, I'm just trying to bust a nut, you know, trying to bump uglies a little, and that's all I wanted to do, man.
And you tell, yeah, it's not like you're fucking with their heads. You tell them, like, look, I am just here to empty my balls.
Yeah.
Listen, smash my pisser in the top bunk.
Yeah.
and I'll fart in your face. So, and it's like, wait, but I thought this was more. I'm like, I told you it's not more. I flat out told you. Like, do I need you to sign a fucking contract?
Well, they see, Rich, they thought they could change you because they think that they're special, but having wine and Netflix as your interest just makes you another white girl. Like, I don't understand why girls like, man, I got so much to offer, and I'm like, what do you got to offer? They're like, shit. I'm a girl, I guess. It's like, oh, thanks. You know how many of those there are?
Oh, on the dating app, it's like a guy. They have like 8,000. God, I'm going to sound like fucking.
No. I know where you're going with this. I have
but it's true.
I have 5,000 children.
I have, and it's like 10,000 fucking requirements.
Yeah, it's like it's like, unreal. It's
like, no, thank you. I'll jerk off instead. Anyway, I'll be back. I gotta piss.
That's how brutal it is. You go on a dating app.
Fucking
I'm
a fleshlight. You don't have to talk to it afterwards.
But yeah, you go on there. They're like, I have 5 children. They mean the world to me. I need this, this, and this. You better not do this. You better be this way. It's like, you're not. Who do you think?
Oh my God, dude! Every single time it's like, I'm 32. I know my worth. I don't hook up with anybody anymore because I've already been ran through, bro. It's like, oh, thanks for punching me, girl. I also have 2 kids. And it's like, they're my world. I also like have no interest, and you better have a 6-figure salary, a nice car, own your own house, have abs, and be 6'2". And I'm like, that ain't gonna happen, girl. You have to settle. You have to settle for a big old butter golem because you ain't get mine. Like,
I don't know what fantasy they're living in there, but it's.
No, you know, they do this thing where they fuck around for their 20s and then they find out in their 30s.
Punk Jack donate 100 bits. He says, one time I caught feelings and I had to cut it off. She was smoking redhead. I lost my virginity to a redhead, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Same.
But she, why? Why is that a thing?
See, she was kick-ass, man.
Dude. So here's my story of how I lost my virginity. I'll tell it super quick. I was known as a priest because I watched too much Dawson's Creek and I actually wanted to be in love or at least know the woman I was going to do that with for the first time. Then it got out of hand and I was like 25 and they were like, okay, your nickname's Priest. We're going to go to the mall. You're going to find a girl. You're going to lose your virginity to her. I'm like, okay. Like literally they knocked on my door and were like, let's go.
That's like some 40-year-old version shit.
No, this is like a movie. I swear this is all 100% true. I'm not making any of this up. So I said, sure. Got in the car with them. We went to the mall. I thought it was more of like, let's just go hang out. They were dead serious. They're like, you're going to pick a girl out. You're going to fucking go up to her and you're going to ask her out. You're going to go on a date with her. Merry Christmas.
Listen.
This thing keeps fucking...
Come on, guys, we know there's nothing faster than an Ultima driver late for this parole meeting.
And their cars are always just dented up in every corner, too. Every
So,
time they pass.
Nissans are so. Oh, I'm sorry. Finish.
No,
your
it's
story,
okay. I was
but
going to say, Butthole, thanks for the $2 donation. And
Butthole.
Thank you, Punk, for the 100 bits, by the way.